This is a full guide on the brand new businesses Rockstar introduced with the Moneyfront DLC. We have the hands-on car wash, the Higgins Helitours, and also the smoke on the water prescription businesses. This is going to be a full breakdown on how to get started with them, how they work, how to make the most amount of money, and more. So if you guys enjoy videos like this and want to see more guides on Cheese Online, then make sure to subscribe, drop a like as well. And let's get into it. So to get started with them, you get a call from Martin Madrazo, and from there you're able to head over to the airport to his icon on the map. You go through a whole cutscene, and eventually you're going to be placed in front of the hands-on car wash. So head over to your phone or head over to the side, and you're able to purchase it, of course, and you can change the tint if you would like. From there, you are able to own the car wash. You head over to it and you can get started with the first business out of the three. Heading inside, you have access to the laptop as well as also snacks that you may need for missions. Rockstar has a sleeping quarters in the back, so you're able to spawn here. There's a safe and there's a place where you're going to be collecting the money from these missions. So heading over to the laptop, you will have three different options, which is going to be the car wash, money laundering, and the Faber work. So for the car wash, that's going to be the legitimate side. Essentially what you're doing is you're going to be going to customers' houses, collecting their cars, bringing them to the car wash, cleaning them, and then bringing them back. Really simple. The payment wise from this is going to be about $1,000. You can also get tips if you don't scratch the car or damage it dirty, whatever. So really simple. The tips aren't that important, of course, unless you want to care about the extra $500 that Rockstar is giving you. And the main thing is just bringing the car back in one piece and not getting blown up by a broomstick. The main factor of the business though is going to be the second one, which is money laundering. Now for these missions, what you're basically doing is just heading out, stealing cash from other places or just other people and taking it back to your factory. Now this kind of varies. These missions are kind of like pretty short, but other ones can be kind of long. I think the longest mission that they have right now is where you dress up as a bank guard and you have to go around to 3 different banks on the map and take cash from them. That takes around like 10 to 15 minutes to do, depending on little factors here and there. But most of the missions should take around like 5 minutes to just go to a location, maybe a secondary location as well, and just bring the money back. Now you don't get paid instantly from these missions, kind of similar to some of the other businesses that we've seen in the past. You have to wait around like 5 to 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes in order for the money to be laundered, and then you can collect it from, like I said earlier, there's this sort of duffel bag in the back in your sleeping quarters where you're able to collect the money. Now payout wise for these missions is going to be around like $35,000, which obviously isn't that much, but the main thing is that the fact there is no cooldown, so you can just do these back to back. And if you are getting the simple missions that aren't that long and take 5 to 7 minutes, it's actually pretty decent money. And I mean, it's not going to make you like $1 million an hour, but it will make you something. And it's, you know, something to just kind of pass the time a little bit if you don't want to focus on doing some other, properties or businesses that we have in the game. And then for Mr. Faber, there's a total of 6 new missions. You have compound interest, current liabilities, liquid markets, mutual funds, ROI, and the monopoly. Pretty simple missions, take around like 10 to 15 minutes. They don't really pay that much at all either. But the main difference between these two different missions, money laundering and Mr. Faber, is one is going to be a free mode, which is the money laundering stuff, and Mr. Faber is in a separate GTA Online lobby. They take around the same amount of time, like maybe 5 to like 15 minutes, depending on you. And the thing is, you get around like $20,000 to like $30,000. And Rockstar kind of made it a little bit more better with the bonuses, because there is things you can collect. Like for example, I know in the first mission you are able to collect coke, which will be adding to your earnings. So it just comes down to what you care about. Obviously it's not going to be a crazy amount of earnings, but I mean, if you see it, go ahead and grab it to make the time worth it. Now probably the most important part of this business is going to be the heat meter. Once you step into any of these properties, you will see that at the bottom right you have the work earnings, which is how much money you made. Of course, you have the safe and then the heat bar. So for the heat bar, essentially what it is there's going to be a difference between the money laundering and the regular car wash missions. So money laundering, of course, is illegal. Now we'll bring your heat meter up. I think around like 4 or 5 missions will bring it to the max of 100%. And then to break it down, you just have to do one of the car wash or illegal missions. It'll actually go down to 0%. So you don't have to worry about doing multiple car washes. It's just one and it instantly goes down to 0, which makes it a lot easier. Now, supposedly on day 1, there was some type of bug where the heat bar doesn't go down, and if the heat bar actually stays at 100%, if you didn't know, you actually can't do any of the money laundering missions. So you're really forced to do legal missions if you want to continue with this business. Now the heat meter can go up from the money laundering and also the Mr. Faber work, and also the business itself being passive due to money coming in the safe, which we'll talk about in a second. There is passive income in this business, so if you decide to just like kind of not do any money laundering missions, the heat level will still go up, so keep that in mind. So going back to the safe, it makes a huge lot of money for this business, and it's really based off the other properties and businesses that you own throughout the game. So heading over to the safe near the desk, you'll see that there's a lot of laundered income, and each of the businesses that are selected are ones that you own. And if you do own them, it tells you exactly how much money it does contribute, and it does actually every day. So every 48 minutes of GTA Online, that's how much the passive income will contribute to your safe. And this is important that you obviously do collect it very regularly because it will max out. So just overall, if you do want to make some passive money, the best thing to do is just actually own multiple businesses. So if you are an OG player or have been playing for a really long time, this isn't an issue because you already have these businesses. It's pretty simple and it's straight money to you. Now, of course, we have to get into the Higgins Helitours and also the Smoke on the Water prescription businesses. So these are essentially basically the same exact thing as the car wash, but just different businesses. So let's start off with the Higgins Helitours. So this one's going to be located down near the helicopter spawn that's kind of close to the airports. So for the exterior first, you are able to spawn some of your personal helicopters, which is interesting. So that's going to save a lot of time. You also have the ability to spawn one of the helicopters that they provide for you, which is the Higgins helicopter. And then you can also spawn some Pegasus vehicles as well. So heading inside, you have snacks available. It's a pretty simple interior. And then of course the laptop in the back. What's different about these is that the money laundering missions are going to be somewhat a little bit more different. They're not the exact same. It's going to be based more on like some helicopter stuff since it is the Helitours. So missions will be a little bit different, but pretty much pay the exact same. And then for the legal missions, which again is above the money laundering ones, you're going to be doing helicopter tours instead of doing car washes. So you pretty much just have to go to a certain location, pick up customers, fly them around to certain checkpoints around the map, and then just take them back. You're done. So it's actually really easy and takes somewhat about the same time if you were to wash the cars. And then for Smoke on the Water, this is located near Vespucci Beach, of course. And this again, exact same thing as the other businesses. Inside you have snacks, and this one's a little bit different because you are able to get high, kind of similar to what we've seen in the Record A Studios, as well as also some other properties. So it's more decorated, but it's essentially the same exact interior as the Higgins Helitours, just a little bit of changes. Laptop in the back. And for the missions, they're going to be focused more on doing some weed stuff. So this could be destroying rival weed farms or stealing stuff. And then for the legal work, you're able to do weed deliveries. So it's essentially pretty much just a regular weed business, but through this. And then you are able to get tips if you deliver certain strains of weed to people. But again, it's the same thing with the car wash. It's not important. It's not going to make you that much money. You won't even feel the difference, but it is what it is. Now, keep in mind for all three of these businesses, the heat meter is different. So it's not the exact same for all of them. So you have to do specific missions for each specific business to bring that heat meter down. So if I have the heat meter 100% at the weed business, I'll have to do some weed delivery missions to bring that down. Car wash, same thing. Helitours, same thing. So in total, the full update to get all three of these businesses is of course going to be $3 million, which is a somewhat big investment. It's not that much money because we've seen other businesses cost around like $5 million and additional to other vehicles that you may want to buy for it, costing a lot more, especially for previous updates that we've seen in GTA Online. To make those businesses extremely useful, you need to buy other businesses or other vehicles to make it really good. For this one though, you really don't have to buy anything else. It's just these three businesses and then you can get started. Now, some people do feel the fact that there isn't a point of buying the other businesses since it's essentially just a copy and paste, just different missions. But I think they're actually pretty cool to get into because you do change up the mission route instead of always doing the same thing. So if you're only able to buy the car wash, you would have to consistently do the same thing over and over again when it comes to the missions and also the legal work to bring the heat down, which kind of makes it a little bit boring. I feel like having that mixed in with other businesses that we know in GTA Online for a long time and kind of having a variety of things to kind of get into makes it more interesting. If you are a new player, then I would understand the fact that maybe buying the other two isn't that important, or even buying this business at all, because there is other ways to make money first. But if you are a veteran player and you own the other businesses, you're going to make this money back pretty fast by grinding a little bit, and this really could take less than a day to make all that money back from the investment into the property, and it's really not that bad. So essentially, I would say if you are a new player, then I'll probably stick to maybe just getting the hands on car wash or focusing on other properties. Just depends how new of a player are you, if you just started that day, if you started like 2 months ago, whatever. But if you are a player that's been with GTA Online for a long time and you have a lot of money, just go ahead and buy three. It just changes up the missions and not just make it pretty much the exact same. If you want to wait though, of course, new player or OG player for a discount, definitely go ahead. Also keep in mind that this specific week when the update released, Rockstar does have double money, so payouts will be a little bit different. Of course, Rockstar will have the regular bonuses as well as also a GTA Online Plus bonus that's actually going on right now for people that own that subscription. So looking into if this business is worth it or not, if we had to do some calculations, you make around like $35,000 every 10 minutes. And if you were to throw in the legal work as well as also some of the safe income, you would make around like $300,000 on a regular week, which really isn't that much, but it's something. And if you just consistently kind of do it here and there with other stuff, then yeah, it's actually not that bad. And plus, these missions are difficult. They're pretty simple. So just mix it in with some other businesses that you have, Kai, Perico, Heist, whatever, all of that. And honestly, it's just another one of those businesses that, you know, are in GTA Online, similar to Agents of Sabotage and all the others. 2 additional tips to know about these businesses is that for the hands-on car wash, the counterfeit cash production will be increased by 35% more, which is actually pretty good. Same thing for the smoke on the water, but this is going to be for your weed farm. And then for the Higgins Helitour is going to be your air freight cargo by 10% more. And something that's going to save you a lot of time is that instead of going back and forth to businesses, you could just start these missions by calling Raph. But of course, if you guys have any questions on this new business, let me know in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed and found this helpful. And if you enjoy content like this and want to see more, make sure to subscribe and put on noties, drop a like, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.